Hi guys, happy Friday night. I know normally I do these videos earlier in the day, Fridays, but today we started a new homeschool group with for our family. I'll get the glare out of my glasses, sorry. And it just meant that we were not available. I could not get on here until now. So not every Fight Back Friday is going to be at a specific time, but you know that Fight Back Friday will be coming your way pretty much every week, barring unforeseen circumstances. All right. So, I'm really excited about the topic this week, and I've been like dying all day to get on here and talk to you about this. It's something that has come up a lot in questions I've seen all over different Lyme forums. I've been asked about this. I've gone through this struggle and I still struggle with it. And that is the topic of medical anxiety as it relates, in our case, to Lyme. But I mean, honestly, right? This could apply to anyone that's been through medical traumas or just medical struggles, especially ongoing, like when it happens and happens and happens and happens. So, a little bit of my story, and you can read my story like on my blog. That's like the quickest, easiest way, but I love telling it, so it shows up a lot on here as well in my videos and my posts and stuff. But my background is I was diagnosed with Lyme as a teenager, around 16. However, and I was really sick at that time. That's how we got to the diagnosis. However, I'm pretty sure, like 99% sure, I had undiagnosed Lyme since I was about 11-ish, maybe 12-ish. I can't remember exactly. We had been on a hike, gotten tick bites, and I had classic like Lyme flare symptoms that summer. I was bedridden for like a full 4 weeks, and then I like kind of recovered enough to function. And anyway, got sicker again then when apparently the Lyme was flaring again as a teenager, and was officially diagnosed by my primary care doctor, not a Lyme literate doc at all. He tried, bless his heart, he tried to treat me the best he knew how, and we and my family didn't know any differently back then. I mean, I'm in my 30s now, so that was a long time ago, and Lyme was like, we didn't really know. Maybe we knew one other person with Lyme, maybe. Like, I don't even think we did. So it was uncharted territory for us, so we did what the doctor said to do, which was just 4 weeks of antibiotics, which made me really sick. I was both herxing and they were hard on my gut. I did not have good gut health, like not as good as I do now for sure. And that was that. I was like, this is shenanigans, like why am I even doing this? It doesn't work. Ooh, I wish I'd known better, because I ended up going through doctor after doctor after doctor in my teen and early 20 years for not quite 10 years. It was about 8 years from diagnosis, maybe a little less, 6 to 7 for sure years after my official diagnosis, that I bounced through doctors, getting autoimmune disease diagnoses, going to rheumatologists, going to infectious disease, going to multiple different kinds of doctors. Some of the best help I got, sorry, my eyes are tired today. Some of the best help I got was with a homeopathist. That was a recommendation from friends of ours, and he actually helped a lot. No kidding. Now looking back, he was doing a lot of things that, like, he didn't necessarily just understand Lyme, but he understood the whole body, right? So all that to say, that was like, I have to mention this homeopathist because he was like a light in the middle of a lot of darkness for me, where I finally started to get some answers and felt like we were on the right track, even though I didn't know. I was still just a teenager, and I didn't really know any differently. And my mom was the main person advocating for me at that time and taking me to all these appointments and stuff. So anyway, I started my teenage years, basically. Half my life, I've been bounced around by doctors, dismissed, told to take an ibuprofen and go for a walk every day, told it was on my head, psych issues, sent to therapists, put on therapy, like psych meds, and put on therapy regimens, given pills, prescribed things with side effects up and down and up and down. And I'm not saying that's good or bad or otherwise. I'm just saying no one was really invested in getting to the root cause, and certainly no one, I mean, I had Lyme on my chart and no one noticed or understood what that really meant for my health. So here I am getting like a laundry list of autoimmune diagnoses in the arthritis world, the fibromyalgia world, the chronic fatigue world, rash world, like eczema, psoriasis, like all the things, Raynaud's phenomenon, like cardiovascular issues. Then it turns into neuro issues, and they're working me up for, lupus and further neurological conditions as I hit my 20s and into like early adulthood more and more, and talking about upping my meds to like chemotherapeutic medications to suppress my immune system. Could you even imagine? So here I am on immunosuppressive medication, which sometimes can actually help with Lyme. That's another story for another time, but bounced all over the treatment regimen and the doctor regimen. But it could have been way worse than it was. Here I am having to absorb all of this, learning to navigate a system that thinks I'm a fool, learning not to trust myself, learning that doctors don't know everything, like learning the hard way, a lot of lessons. And needless to say, I got some anxiety from it all. Then you fast forward to actually being diagnosed properly, getting a Lyme provider. All that happened after I watched Under Our Skin and got some more knowledge through friends of ours actually about it. They were going through Lyme treatment, and they, husband and wife that had a Lyme specialist, and like just, it all came together in a beautiful, like divinely timed way. Okay. That I was able to get help. This was when I was pregnant with my first daughter at 23 years old, newly married, all that. Yeah, Michelle, right. So Michelle is my friend Katz. She goes by the name Katz. So she is saying she's been there with RA. Yeah, it's not just Lyme. I know like almost anyone that suffered with something kind of nebulous medically, or especially a medical mystery, has gone through this, where they've just struggled in the system, the way it's set up. And Katz and I are both nurses. Like we work in the medical system, and we have worked in the medical system, and it's not perfect, but it's there for a reason, right? So there are good doctors and providers out there that have your best interest in mind. They just don't always have the knowledge, and they don't always know how to help you get to a place where you're getting the knowledge you need to move forward. So anyway, all that to say, when I was finally getting treatment, it helped so much. Like everything kind of was suppressed in my anxiety about Lyme. Some things were heightened because I was like learning so much that I never knew about how horrible it could be, but I felt relief for the first time in a long time. I felt like, oh, finally, I'm truly like that taste of relief I got seeing the homeopathist that like started to make me feel better. I got the bigger taste being in treatment, and it was great. And then I started having babies, and as they got tick bites, in their younger years, we live in a tick infested area, and despite my best efforts at like the neighbor's yard playing and other places, they got bites. 3 of my kids just at different times in their childhood. So I took them to get tested, and the anxiety resurfaced as my kids started going through this, having Lyme and co-infections too, actually learning that some of it might have been from me. Hard to say, hard to know. It was like a resurfacing of all of that horrific trauma from years of being neglected, gaslit, lied to, dismissed, whatever, put down, mocked. Anyway, not everyone did that to me, but you all know, if you've struggled at all, you all know there are those certain ones that treat you that way, and it just stands out so strongly, even when you don't want it to be at the forefront of your mind. Those experiences are like unforgettable, really. So I wanted to take time to tell you all of that. And that's kind of the brief synopsis. I'm happy to, like, if you have questions or want to talk more about my experience, I can offline. I just wanted you to know that I've been through this in more ways than one, through my own health, through my family's health, my kids' health, and for more than half of my lifetime. This has been ongoing for me. As a kid, this started. As a child should not, like, I was old enough to understand what the doctor was saying to my mom or to my face. Like, I wasn't dumb, and I was like old enough to know better. I was a teenager, so that's horrible. And now just admitting that it's not right. I want that for all of you to say, that's not right. The way I was treated, whatever your circumstance, that was wrong, wasn't right. And it's okay for it to be wrong. And it's okay for you to say that, even if it's a doctor you're talking about, or some other specialist, like an infectious disease specialist, it doesn't mean they're good for nothing, but it also doesn't mean that they knew everything to help you. And it's sad they couldn't admit that or find resources for you or help you find resources for you. So let me get into the 4 main ways that I like to start combating medical anxiety. And these 4 ways are so easy to do, but very powerful, but you have to commit to doing them. They sound too good to be true, but they can really make a difference quickly in how you perceive medical situations. This is for like, if you have to go to an appointment and it's stressing you out, if you're waiting on lab results or test results, yeah, Cats, it makes you doubt yourself when you're dismissed so much. That's a great way. Yes. You start to think you're the crazy person, gaslighting. Like that's how it comes across. So yeah, let me talk to you about these 4 tactics you can pull from as like tools in your toolbox, if that makes sense, your healthy toolbox, in any situation when that anxiety creeps in. I can't tell you how many appointments I have left or gone to and just been a panic attack wreck, even lately, like even in the last couple years, especially when it came to my kids, to be honest. Like I feel like that is more my struggle area now than my personal stuff. However, you never know when that anxiety is going to strike either. And you don't ever want to be living in fear of it. It is not a beast to fear. Okay. It is a factor of your life, perhaps. I'm not dismissing that it exists by all means. It's there. I know for some of us. However, your love and your truth are greater than the anxiety and the fear around it. That's a bonus point for you. That's point number 5. Okay. That is the truth. Your love, your truth, your experience is greater than the anxiety and the fear and the dismissive doctors. Okay. We believe you. Here we are in a community that you are not crazy. Okay. You are not incapable or incompetent. All right. So, the real first tactic, that was a bonus information. The first tactic for overcoming medical anxiety is, I think that there's power in deep breathing. And you may be like, oh, Adele, is this how this video is going to go? Look, are you deep breathing regularly? Because most of you aren't. And here's the deal. Not only is oxygenation like healing, literally healing to your body, oxygen in your cells, there's very little that is more powerful. But deep breathing is a very real source of centering and calming, and it has powerful anti-anxiety properties. You can be doing this anywhere at any time too. This is important, that you don't need anything special to be sitting in your car starting to hyperventilate and get anxious and feeling your blood pressure rise and feeling your heart rate go up, feeling yourself starting to sweat and your stomach churning, and to be able to choose to take control of your nervous system in the way of controlling your breathing and focusing on providing healing breaths to your body. There is nothing more powerful than that. That is the first avenue of control you can take at any time, at any place, at any point. Okay. Here are some tips to take it one step further. Like, instead of just saying deep breathe, so you don't have to go research it, you can. And I encourage you to go research deep breathing methods, because there are all different ideas for how to do it. It could just be sitting and taking some really deep intentional breaths. I recommend closing your eyes to do it and just breathing in, holding it, breathing out. And don't worry about counting, and don't worry about, whatever. Just try to fill your lungs to the tips, to the very extremities of your lungs. Okay. That's the most basic way to do it. And I do that a lot because it doesn't require any effort. I don't have to, focus on my breathing more than just to do it. But the other ways that can actually help center you even further are to put this much effort into the deep breathing, like a sliver. Put your hand on your chest or belly or both. Take both hands and put them both places and feel yourself breathing deeply. That adds value to the deep breathing, and that really personalizes it and really can help center and calm you, even if you can do just 5 or 10 breaths quick. Okay. The other thing is to visualize while you're inhaling and exhaling. So for example, shutting your eyes, inhaling deeply and visualizing light coming in, healing light and healing truth coming in, and exhaling deeply and visualizing exhaling lies, exhaling anxiety, letting the fear go out your mouth. Okay. Deep breath in your nose, out your mouth. Okay. The other possible way, if you're looking for, techniques for deep breathing, is box breathing, or some people call it square breathing, or 4x4 breathing. Either way, this is one of the easier ones for me to remember in terms of just like a technique, because this technique in and of itself is actually calming, doing the steps, not just the breathing. So it's like twofold calming. Okay. It's 4x4x4x4, meaning 4 seconds of a deep breath, hold it for 4 seconds out, rest for 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out, 4 rest. Box breathing, like picture a square as you're going. Okay. Actually, visualizing a square while you're doing it is also a great centering technique. It engages your mind on something totally outside the realm of the anxiety. Are we going to get rid of the anxiety? Are we going to make it disappear? Are we going to make the doctors better? Maybe, maybe not. But the goal is to tame it within ourselves, because it's not our truth. Like, yes, it's happening to us. I'm not saying it's not happening. I'm just saying it is not the truth of who we are. It is not the truth of our medical journey. It is like just along for the ride, but we are greater than it. Okay. All right. The second technique for overcoming anxiety is through accessing our limbic system. I know I had to use a scientific term, but short and sweet is the limbic system is actually in your brain. It's like behind this area above your nose. So therefore, your olfactory nerve, that's your nose, your sniffer, your sensory nerve from your nose, connects right by that area and right into that area of your brain. And so this is why you are influenced heavily on the emotional level by what you smell. It's one of the most powerful ways to access your limbic system, kind of directly, basically. So my favorite way to do this, and I highly recommend this, if you use these things for nothing else, use them for emotional support. Essential oils. I talk about them a lot, but not as much as I wish I could, because I love the things for so many reasons. But essential oils, especially certain ones, but all different kinds, have really powerful benefits when inhaled, especially on an emotional level, and for these kinds of fears and worries and stress levels. Okay. And for the occasional cycling of such. So something as simple as lavender essential oil, or I love the tree oils, because think of a tree as being grounding, because a tree is grounded in nature, right? By the roots and the trunk, attached to the ground, basically. They are also therefore known to be very grounding oils for us emotionally. Ironic or designed that way? You tell me. But what you can do, and I don't have hands-free right now because I didn't set up a tripod for my phone, blah, blah, blah. But I'll use one hand. You can put a couple drops in your palm of your hand of whatever oil you choose. Again, top favorites, lavender, any tree oil, pretty much. I love spruces. Personally, frankincense is a huge emotional support oil. There are lots, but actually citrus oils too, I should mention. I'm trying to think of the most simple ones that you can easily access. You want to ensure proper quality of your oils. Highest quality you can get is better. Trust me, I've researched it. It's true. So using subpar oils results in subpar outcomes, just FYI, and or dangerous outcomes. To be honest, I would not ever recommend using something that wasn't 100% trustworthy, and you can source all the ingredients, and there shouldn't be ingredients except the plant. So you can source the plant to the farm, and the distillation process. So that's where I stand on that, just to be safe, safety first. But a couple drops of your highest quality oil in the palm of your hand. Rub it into the other hand too. Rub your palms together a few times to activate those oils and get them moving around. And then cup them both over your mouth and nose. Close your eyes. Do some of your deep breathing. Inhale that. Inhale that smell. Enjoy it. If it's too strong, just move your hands away from your face, or just wave the bottle in front of your nose. It doesn't have to be exactly like this. You can tailor your experience, okay? Because some people don't love the scents as much, right up on their face. I get it. But yes, give that a big old whiff a few times for as long as you can, for as many seconds as you can, and enjoy accessing your limbic system. Best done while you do deep breathing. Best done while you practice truths and affirmations, or speaking them, or at least thinking them over yourself. So like, I'm safe and breathing your oil, or, I'm having a pleasurable experience with this doctor. Like I'm getting the help I need, whatever you need to say. That is your truth in that moment, depending on your circumstances. I would stick with that and just kind of repeat that as your mantra as you're breathing this oil in, to create a connection between the oil, your limbic system, and the truth. So you're creating like a triangle there, using the sense of smell to like solidify that connection. Okay, cool, right? It's very cool. Do not underestimate the power of this. You have your limbic system in your head. You might as well access it and use it for your benefit. Okay. And third thing, so we've talked about deep breathing exercises with examples. We've talked about accessing your limbic system with my favorite example. And now we're going to talk about the third thing, which is mindset work, which is a continuously ongoing process, and should be, at least for anyone, anyone, anywhere, ever, but especially with chronic health struggles in general. I would say mindset work is as big a component to your healing as actually getting physical healing is. So what I mean by that is kind of what I was starting to allude to with the accessing your limbic system. Doing the mindset work to speak truth and affirmations over yourself, focusing only, I'm not talking about being like sickly positive, like a naturally positive person. Like, I think you should still be true to yourself. Like, negative emotions, negative thoughts exist, unhelpful, destructive thoughts exist. We know they're there. I'm not saying they aren't, but instead focusing on what is truth and the goodness of your life and your experience. And there always is something there. So I'm talking too about enlisting other help along the process, along the way. It might be in the form of something like therapy or something like that. That's cool. And I recommend it, honestly. Like, yes, go do that. If you think you maybe should, go. You probably should. But beyond that, like in your own world, day to day, moment by moment, there are some external free things that can help with that, such as 3 of my favorite apps that I like to use the free versions of. I've never paid for any of these subscriptions, although I know people that have and like the paid versions like too. They're great, of course, but the free versions are also great. So start there maybe. But the apps names are Headspace, Soulspace, and Calm. You can just search for them in your app store and download them on your phone so you have them on the go. I really like to do, 5 minutes on them. And that's how they're designed. They're designed to be quick, like usually definitely under 10 minutes. Some of the meditations and stuff they work through and mindset work they go through are less than 5 minutes even. So with a few of those apps, once you have a paid subscription, you have more access to like you choosing more specific, like, oh, I want to do, a mindset or a meditation about, anxiety specifically or whatever. If you have the free version, you don't get as much choice, but it's still like universally useful mindset help in my book. And it is kind of like in the form of like a meditation, but it's positive reinforcement and truth through the speaker on the app. And they tell you exactly what to do, what to visualize or not, or whatever, it depends on the app. They're all a little different. So you could try them all out and see what you liked. But I always like to be able to give resources when I offer a recommendation. So if you were like, oh my gosh, I don't have time to come up with affirmations and whatever, I'm not into that, and I don't know what to say to myself to feel better, then just grab the app, because if you're already feeling anxious, you don't need more work on yourself, like more work for yourself to do. Let the app do it for you, okay? And just pop an affirmation in or pop a meditation from the app in to help center and ground your mindset. These things, deep breathing, accessing your limbic system, and mindset work and meditation for your well-being and your mental health are all things you can do, like I said, anywhere at any time via your phone or just yourself and your body, and or maybe some essential oils with you. These things travel easily. So one really quick little tactic to utilize them in the moment is to plan, and most people do this anyway, you try to arrive to your appointments and stuff a few minutes early. So that's one way, using your car time to help you. So maybe arrive a few minutes early to your appointment, literally like 5. Not that, it's not like 20 minutes is necessary. That you can just sit in your car, park far away if you need to, get some privacy if you can, and just sit in your car and really do 1, 2, or 3 of these steps. I'm going to get to the 4th one. Yeah, park far away, do that. Or the other thing for me was a lot of times my anxiety would hit after my appointments, or after my testing, like especially when I'd get home and I would start to like process over, like I am not a quick processor all the time. So as I would process through the next few hours, like I would just be really struggling with that panicky feeling and the anxiety around, oh my gosh, what does this mean? What is this telling me about what's happening to myself and my body and my mind, or my kids? So the other converse of my suggestion is to get home from your appointment and take 5 minutes in your car before you even get out of your car. If you can leave the heater, air running, and just be comfortable in your car and do 1, 2, or 3 of these suggestions before you hop out and go inside and like resume your life, or if no one's home, get inside, take a hot shower maybe, and just give yourself 5 minutes to unwind after appointments and tests. And I know that about myself now. It took me years to figure that little trick out, but it made a world of difference to just give myself time to process. Sometimes I would give myself like an hour or whatever, long amount of time. But if you don't have that luxury, that's cool. Even just 5 minutes can take the edge off or stop panic in its tracks a little bit. And then the 4th thing I wanted to tell you is, and maybe most importantly, is what I learned along the way. Know that you are your best advocate. I just want to access my notes because I'm going to review all 4 things quick. You are your best advocate at the end of the day. You can have all the help in the world. You can have a coach helping you. You can have, a spouse or like professionals helping you. But it is okay for you to seek advocacy for yourself. It is okay. If no one has ever told you that, you need to, I'm telling you what you need to do. I don't like to do that, but I feel very strongly about this. You are better off to assume that role and embrace that role and own that role, that you are your best advocate. Even if you don't know all the things, well, neither does a doctor all the time. Neither does, your spouse or your friend or whoever's helping you along your journey and supporting you. But your support team is still there for you. You can still show up there for you. You are still there for you. Even if you fall short some of the time. Because anyone's going to fall short some of the time. And that's okay. And if you haven't really grasped that as truth in your life, that alone, point number 4, may be why you're struggling more than you'd like to be with medical anxiety. Just a thought. I don't know if anyone's ever presented it to you like that, but I feel like it's a disservice if you haven't heard that truth before. So let's review really quickly before I sign out for the evening. 4 ways to overcome anxiety mindset or medical anxiety as you walk your Lyme healing journey. Number 1, utilizing deep breathing exercises and techniques, or just taking deep breaths. Don't underestimate that power, the importance of it. See what it does for your body. Give it a try. Trust me. Number 2, accessing your limbic system. We talked about how to do that in this video, so watch the replay if you missed it. But accessing your limbic system is a key to kind of tapping into your emotional well-being. And 3, mindset work based on truth and positivity. Okay, meditation, affirmations. Use the free apps so you don't have to work harder. So guys, work smarter, not harder. That's like my motto for life. Okay, you can still get healing even using some, I don't even want to call them cheats, using smart moves along the way. Use the free apps I suggested in the video. And number 4, embrace the truth that you are a worthy advocate for yourself. You are worthy of healing. You are worthy of helping yourself. And whatever that looks like is okay. And you are not perfect any more than anyone else in your team is perfect. And that's okay too. You're all in this together, but you are the key piece of the puzzle. All right, my friends. Janessa, I just caught your comment. You are so welcome. I hope this was helpful to you all. I hope that these ideas are simple enough for you to implement immediately and help you on your journey as you go forward and conquer healing. Here's to your health and wellness. Happy Friday to you all, and we'll catch you later.